Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am so excited. I finally get to use my newest purchase from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. So it comes in this little, well, I shouldn't say little, but it's like this nice velvety pouch. And I ended up getting it's not their newest because they just came out with their palette. It's called Grounded, but there's also a version that is Tones of Turds. And it was like a whole like April Fool's thing, and people apparently like loved it. So she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people love this. So she ended up making it, and she did all the colors in names of like poop or whatever. But then she was like, you know, for people who didn't think, you know, that was as funny, she made it, she made a duplicate palette, and it's called Grounded. So anyway, I got the Timeless Tones palette. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, that just looks beautiful. I love the color. I love the cover. It's like white with this blue detail. It's like a deep navy blue. And the palette itself is so pretty. Here's the palette. And then along with the palette, so was it 510? So it's 20 shades, and it's a lot of, I just think it's timeless, classic colors. I mean, just your neutral with like your pops of blue, and then there's a couple iridescent shades over here, and then they have the shimmery, like duochrome type shades over here. Super pretty. But with that, I also got their brand new brush set. So it comes in this nice little like, I don't even know. It's like a fake leather case. And then here are the brushes. I have not used them yet. I've been waiting and waiting to be able to sit down to do this video. So let me take them out of the packaging real quick. So you get 8 eye brushes. Here they are. They have wooden handles. They're designed to be, you know, ergonomically designed for like a proper hold here. Like I said, wooden handles. And then they have a rose gold ferrule, and then oh, it does say engraved, so it's got her little like emblem on it. And then that is a PU leather storage bag. So it says 100% cruelty free and vegan, and these are synthetic bristles. So I'm super excited to use these today. Oh no. The palette is sold out. I just checked. I'm sorry. I hate when I do that. I hate when I get on to do it, but hopefully some of you guys have it. If not, usually when something does well, she ends up making it again and bringing it back. If you don't know, this brand is based out of Australia. For those of you that don't know, she does all of this herself, I believe. Distributed by Glaminatrix Cosmetics, Gladstone, I don't know what QLD, Australia. So yeah, as far as I know, I've seen like on her Instagram, like her mixing stuff up and making shades. So anyway, if you want to support a small business, go check out Glaminatrix. I think I am going to actually purchase the Grounded palette because it looks beautiful. So anyway, if you want to see me use this palette and these brushes, then just keep watching. So there's a variety of brushes. Obviously on her website, she has them listed out, what they should be used for, what they're designed for, but I kind of pick up brushes and use them for whatever I feel like using them for. But I do like smaller brushes. The only thing is, as far as like a eyeshadow brush that I do like, I usually like those flat shader brushes, and I don't feel like there's really one in here, but this E05 brush is a small wider brush that's perfect for packing and blending eyeshadow onto the lid. So that would be, this one would be the closest to it, but look how thick it is. So I don't know. I don't know why I felt like the need to point that out, but I did because I think I always pick up like my Morphe M124 brush. See how flat it is? And then let's see. It's larger. The Morphe brush right here is larger, and you can see the size difference. That's them from the side view. So that is the difference there. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. There's so many options. I just did a green look and like a blue, but this one blue looks really pretty. I think I'm gonna start with Vogue down here. And I'm gonna pick that up on this E01 brush. It's the largest, fluffiest brush. Tap that off. Sometimes for me it's hard to like switch brushes because I'm so used to what I use all the time. So this definitely feels different. I like how the handle feels in my hand, like holding it. I'm used to my shadow brush being a little denser, but honestly this is applying really nice and it's blending the color out. So then I'm gonna go in with this color down here. Looks really dark, like a black with different colors in it. So kind of want to see what that looks like. I know it's a lot going in with that to start off, but let's just do it. I'm gonna go in with the E05 brush. And I'm gonna pick up that color Grace. And I think I'm just gonna start here in the center to see how it applies. It's applying very nice for packing on the color. That is so pretty. Let me zoom in. I hope you can see that. That is a very pretty color. Shimmer. And again, I didn't even get this wet or do anything to it. I didn't use any glitter glue or anything, so I'm going to clean that brush off. So I did a very nice job of packing that color on there very effortlessly. So I'm going to go ahead and I think what I want to do is pick up this E02 brush. It's a small fluffy brush, but it's slightly tapered. And I think I actually want to go with this dark green vintaged color. It's a very dark green because when I look down at that color Grace, I feel like I get some green in it, and I don't necessarily think I want to go in with black out here, but I don't know how deep this color is going to be for me to pack on. And then I'm going to go back in with that prior brush and pick up a little bit more of that color Grace and dab that over where the two of them meet up. And then I want to go back in with that very first brush and pick up a little bit more of that Vogue and just soften the edge. And I think I'm actually going to bring that color down underneath. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that vintage color. And then I think I want to do something lighter. So here's the thing. I'm just going to clean that brush off because there isn't another like smaller shader brush like this. And I think what I want to do, go in with Effortless because this looks like it has a green undertone to it. So I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to put that on the inner corner and inner part of the eyelid. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm just bringing it up a little bit into the crease like that, kind of on an angle. And then I'm going to bring it down. I think I'm going to go all the way across with it because I did such a dark color. And you know what? This is all applying very well, and I haven't even wet the brush, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop there for a second and grab something. So I have this little Glam Glow. Are they even around anymore? Oh, come on. I have this little Glam Glow setting spray. So I'm just gonna wet that. I'm gonna clean that brush off, pick a little bit more of Grace up, and blend over where those two meet up. I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth between the two until I get the desired blend that I want. Just wanted to make it look more connected. Oh, there, that is so pretty. So I think I'm gonna leave that eye like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to the other eye. I think I'm gonna go in just for like a brown, because I haven't done, I feel like I haven't done just like a very, I don't want to say very basic, but like just a nice neutral eye look. So I'm gonna go in with Sophisticated, then probably go with this deeper brown, and then I'm gonna go in with this Dignified color on the end. So I'm just gonna kind of work across the row. I feel like that's an idea she gives with this palette, is kind of working either from the center and to the left. So I feel like you could work from the center and then to the left, or you could work from the center and to the right in any given row. So if you were to hop down here, I feel like you could go here and use these three colors, or you could go here and use these three colors. Does that make sense? Or four colors, however you want to do it. There's lots of options. I do like the tone of this brown. It blended out very nice, because right here I had gone in and it looked like it was going to be super saturated right where I applied it, but it blended out nicely. I think I'm gonna go ahead and apply that underneath as well while I'm at it. I think I'm very specific with the brushes I use for applying, you know, certain things. So I have these 4 brushes left. This one obviously be more for like liner, doing something very precise. This one I still think would be very precise. This is like a pencil brush, so I probably could have used that on the inner corner if I had switched out a color. And then this one's very, I feel like that's a good like, to smoke it out, blend it out. So I haven't used those 4, and I'm probably not going to, I don't think. I am gonna take this E07 brush, and I'm going to pick up that darker brown called Tasteful that I showed, tap it off. I'm going to put that out here and then into the crease. So I'm just going to apply it. This brush is quite wispy for me. I'm used to using a brush that is a bit denser for the application into my crease. See how like when I'm moving it, I feel like I'm getting a lot more movement elsewhere rather than where I want it, even if I'm trying to hold it, you know, back here and going lighter. I just feel like there's a lot of give in those bristles. And then I'm gonna go in with Dignified out here and put that all over the lid. And I'm using, again, that E05 brush. Oh, that's pretty. And I'm just gonna pat out here over top of that darker brown just to get a blend over where the two meet up. This color is beautiful and it blended out nicely. It's very effortlessly. I think that's amazing. I really like it. Maybe I will. I think I'm gonna go in with this brush here. No, you know what? I'm gonna go with the little tiny brush. So I'm gonna go in with this smaller EO6 brush and I'm gonna pick up that deeper brown that I used on that outer corner. And I'm gonna get really close to this lower lash line. And just bring that across and then connect it out here. I think I'm gonna go in with, so this everlasting color seems to be shifting between like a blue and a green. And then this color exquisite seems to be shifting between a blue and a purple. It's not gonna show the way I want it to show. So I think I really want to pop a color on that inner corner. Do I want to use the blue and the green? I think I'm going to go in with this one, this everlasting. I'm going to pick that up on this EO4 brush, the little pencil brush. I don't know, this might be too dark for like the inner corner. So let me just try down here first and see, yeah, what this is gonna look like. And I might just, I think I'm just gonna use that down here. But let me get it wet. I'm gonna pick a little bit up and get it wet. Like that. Oh, it's very pretty because it has like a deeper like base to it. But then it's got such a nice shift in color to it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I'm gonna hop off, I'm gonna finish everything up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the finished looks. I'll go ahead and close my eyes. I'll go ahead and cover one eye. Cover the other eye. And then I'll go ahead and do a low light situation. Okay, so hopefully you could get something from that. To finish up the eyes, I just went ahead and used my KVD tattoo liners in Mad Max Brown. I used that on this eye, and then I used Trooper on this eye to do a wing. For the lower waterline, I used the Power Pencil Warm Brown by BH Cosmetics, and I used that in the waterline of this eye. And then for my other eye, where did I put it? I initially went in with the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner and Extra Frosting. For whatever reason, I thought this was going to be yellow enough, and it totally wasn't. It was very, very light, not what I was looking for. So then I went in with my LA Girl Shockwave Liner in Screamin'. I love those liners. I always talk about them. So I just went ahead and used the Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara. And then for the upper, I just used the Love the Lift Mascara from Sephora. And I didn't put any lashes on because I just didn't feel like it. For the lips, I went ahead and used my NYX Professional Makeup Lip Pencil in Nude Beige. And then I initially went in with the Makeup by Mitchell Mattitude in Extra Cream. And for whatever reason, I was like, whoa. I was like, it's not what I was wanting right now. So I wiped it off. It's super matte. It's super like, if you want that concealer lip, that's what that does. But it just, I guess I just didn't realize how, I don't know, it was just very matte, very drying. So I ended up putting some on my hand and getting that like initial layer off, and then went over it. But then I just realized it was too light for what I was wanting. So I went in with the Cosmic Brushes lipstick in Clarice. I really like this one. just a nice nude. It's a little cool tone. So I just went in because I don't know, I didn't want a whole lot on my lips because I like when I have a lot going on here and then I just kind of tone it down here. Anyway, so that is that. I did have these lip stains. I was going to use one of those, but then I was like, I don't really have a color that's going to kind of go with the look. I am enjoying using these, just putting a liner on and then putting a lip stain on. My daughter actually gave these to me for Christmas. Not last year, I think the year before that maybe. She gave me a bunch of stuff. It was when she worked at Ulta. So anyhow, as far as the brushes, now listen, it is a very nice brush set. I really like the feel of them when I'm holding on to them. Whether it's that ergonomic design, but they're very light. So I do feel like they're easy to use in that aspect. However, I feel for me, it's hard buying brush sets because I feel like I spend the money on the whole set and then I don't actually use all the brushes in the set because of my preference. So I actually prefer to buy single brushes because I know what type of brush I like to go for, and I'm just kind of picky, if you want to say that. I'm just particular. That'd probably be a better word. I don't want to be like I'm picky. It's just I know what I want to use. I know what I like, and sometimes I have a hard time with buying a whole brush set because I feel like I end up wasting money sometimes because I bought 8 brushes and I'm only going to use 3. You know what I mean? So I just want you to realize that because these are quite expensive. She does give you $10 off. If you get these with a palette, then these will be $10 off, but I think they're still pretty pricey. I think they're $81 for the set. It's $81, tax is included, but again, if you get it with that, so it still comes down to $71, and then that divided by 8, you're looking at $8 a brush. That's pricey, especially if you're not going to use all the brushes, you know what I mean? So if you feel that you are that type of person and you're not going to use all the brushes, you might want to just pass on these. Again, they're nice, they feel nice in my hand, but it just might be a waste, and I would prefer you guys to save your money. If you're pretty particular in what you want, then maybe go with a company that you can buy single brushes. I did just order some brushes off of Shop Miss A, and I love that I can get the flat shader brushes for like $1, and I like them. I actually have a few of them, but let me see. Okay, I'll have to show you when they come in. I thought I might have had one here like handy in my basket of brushes, but it's not sticking out to me, and I don't want to, you know, waste too much time trying to find what I'm looking for. Yeah, because that's a P. Louise brush. I do have quite a few brushes, so again, I think that's why I'm so particular in what I like to use, is because I've used a lot of brands, I've used a lot of brushes, and I kind of have it down to the select few that I like to use when I do an eye look. So anyway, that's that. I'm not going to keep going on about the brushes. The little case is nice. Again, if you don't have brushes, you don't know what you like, maybe you want to pick this up and try these, so then you can kind of figure out what you might like. I did make comments along the way throughout the video about the brush set, so hopefully you watched the whole video and caught all of that. The little case is really cute too. It's really nice. So it's flat on the bottom, and it just got a nice little zip. So it is cute. As far as the palette, I really like her formula. I really like her palette. Everything just went on really nice. She's got a high amount of sparkle to the shimmer colors. I really enjoy that. Her mattes go on nice. They blend out beautifully. I just like her palettes. I don't think I've purchased a palette from her that I can think of that I've been like me about. So I like supporting her brand. I like the product I get, so I can't say enough about that. Again, I purchased this with my own money, as I do everything. And it's just beautiful. I feel like this is going to be a nice neutral, you know, just like it says, a timeless palette that I can pick up again and again and again and use it for just like everyday looks, or just even adding in a pop of color. There are a lot of options in here. You can go really light and then just put on a little iridescent shimmer for like that pop, or you could go with deeper tones. You have your mid-tones here, and then you have the lighter tones, and you could just use a mixture of those. I just feel like looking at this, it does speak to me, and you guys know how I feel about palettes that do that. When I look at it and I'm already starting to pick out, you know, eye looks, like, oh hey, this palette's set up. I feel like you could just go from here across. If you don't know what you're doing, if you're kind of like looking at it and you're like, I don't know what I would do with the eye look, I feel like, again, you could start here and go across this way, or you could start here and go across this way. Either which way you go, I mixed it up. I started down here and then was like, I'm gonna use this, and then shot over here. You can jump around in the palette. I just feel like it offers a lot. It's kind of set up to kind of guide you a little bit, I feel like. I mean, I could be wrong with that. She might not have had that as an intent with the creating it, but that's what it looks like to me, and I'm just pointing that out to you. If you are looking at it like, I don't know what I would do, just look at it and kind of go across, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I can create an eye look like that. You can jump around. Again, I just feel like it offers a lot. You don't have to get super complicated with your eye looks. I like to try a lot of colors so you guys can see the most amount of colors out of a palette. Obviously, I could go in, use one color and use one shimmer, and that would be perfectly fine. Throw on some eyeliner and some mascara and call it a day. That is absolutely a-okay, but I don't feel like that would be an effective video for you guys to watch. I feel like you need to see a lot of colors, a lot of them, and see how they perform. You know what I mean? I don't know, that's just my thoughts. I just hope I'm doing you a service by doing that and explaining that's where I come from when I do these looks and use all the colors that I do, because I also want you to understand you don't need to do all that. You really don't. You could just pick up a blue and then put the blue shimmer on and call it a day. It'd be beautiful. So anyway, if you want some more, anyway, if you want to support a small business, and especially in another country outside of your own, I do recommend looking at Glaminatrix. Sometimes you can find coupons for them, but I also think if you sign up, she actually has like a reward system where when you order, you earn so many points, and then you can redeem those points towards a future purchase. I think at one point I had like $25 off of my purchase, so it's definitely helpful. It's something very nice, especially for her being a small business. So anyway, I guess I would just end it with that. I think that's enough rambling. I think you get the point. And if you have this palette and you love it, let me know. If you have this palette and you're like, meh, let me know that too. I enjoy talking to you guys. I hope all of you are happy and well, and life is going well for you. And if it's not, just know that things will get better, okay? Find a happy thing to do, kind of put yourself in the zone. This is my happy space. I like to get in here, I like to play with these things, just kind of let it all fall out, you know? So make sure you're carving out some time for yourself, whether it's watching videos or actually playing with makeup. Just make sure you are giving yourself that time, and just know that you are probably doing the best that you can right now, and that is all that is needed. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day or evening or whenever you're watching this.